Hey guys, welcome to Awesome Reviews. This is July bringing the reaction and review to the Toy Story 4 Super Bowl spot. Now, Toy Story is an interesting thing because I think I am sort of exactly of the right age to have grown up with the Toy Stories. Like they came out sort of perfectly for me. I'm in that it's sort of like a narrowish bracket of people who were sort of there, like exactly there when the original Toy Stories dropped. Like we're exactly the right ages, or roughly the right ages. There's obviously a few people that were a little bit older who still love them all the same, and some people who were a few years younger, maybe a little bit too young when Toy Story 1 came out, but caught up in time for Toy Story 2 at the very least, and were absolutely on board the nostalgia wagon when Toy Story 3 came out. Just to put that in perspective, Toy Story 3 was I think it was the highest selling film that my university's film society ever played. At the very least, it was the film that sold out. I remember being sold out the most when I attended it during my 3 years at university. All 3 years, Toy Story 3 was the busiest film I ever went to at my university's film nights. Just because everyone in that room was a child when Toy Story 1 and 2 came out, basically. Everyone in that room. No other film that year, as far as I'm aware, sold out exactly like the way that Toy Story 3 did when I was there. So, to me, Toy Story 3 sits in my top three films, full stop. Toy Story 3 was, to me, a perfect trilogy ending point, which made the Toy Story 4 announcement slightly awkward. Because when they announced it, I was not on board Toy Story 4. I'm like, what are they doing? There is no need for a Toy Story 4. You've ended it perfectly well. There is no necessary need to do another one of these right now. Just leave it as it is. Toy Story 3 was a perfect capping point for the franchise, in my opinion. And then sort of a little bit detail sort of came out. And like Toy Story 4 is going to be more of a romantic comedy, sort of romantic situation, sort of a romance film involving, I think it's like Woody and Bo Peep. It's sort of revolving around that rather than being like an actual Toy Story 4 as such. Sort of a more Toy Story spin-off in a way. It's sort of the way it sounded like it's sort of going a different tack with the type of story that it's doing. It's not about the toys and Andy. It's about Woody and Bo Peep at the very least. It seemed to be sort of more focused on that, was the way it's sounding. And then the news dropped about Tom Hanks saying this is the most emotional emotional script, or Tom Hanks got super emotional recording the dialogue for the film, and it sort of destroyed him emotionally. And it's like, well, that's great because Toy Story 3 destroyed everyone last time round. How can this be even worse? How can this be even worse emotionally for us? Like, what are they doing with this that could be possibly top the emotionalness of Toy Story 3? I can't even get the words for Toy Story 3. It's still thinking about it. I was like, okay. Toy Story 4 suddenly became a lot more interesting. So I am more on board than I was when the initial announcement came. It's not like, Incredibles 2, where we've been waiting a long time for a sequel, or Finding Dory, where we've been waiting a long time for a sequel. Toy Story 4 was very much a film that, when it was announced, seemed completely unnecessary. Still seems unnecessary, but there's a sort of it's sort of unnecessary with an asterisk, where the asterisk says, let's see where they're going with this. Basically, is where I am personally for Toy Story 4. So let's watch this trailer and see if this helps the situation for me in any way, shape, or form.
You got a friend in me.
This place is amazing.
Wasn't Buzz gonna meet us here?
He must be held up somewhere.
Hey, up here, Astro Boy.
If you think you can take our top prize spot, you're wrong.
Dead wrong.
Help me get out of here.
I'll help you.
With my foot. Wow. Yeah. How you like that, Cheetah? Oh, to infinity and my foot. Boom. In the vacuum of space, they cannot hear you scream.
So, short answer, No, that didn't help the situation in any way, shape, or form. Whilst it's nice to spending time with the characters, those scenes at the very least seemed unnecessary, as amusing as they were. Like, still not seeing, like, there was no story in it. I mean, they only had 30 seconds to deal with there. But it's not really explaining why Toy Story 4 exists. And I'm not entirely certain if I missed a full trailer for this yet. I have an awful feeling that I've missed a full trailer for Toy Story 4 that may have been released towards the end of last year. That was during the period of time where I just didn't have any free time to react to anything. So I have a feeling that I might have missed one there, which might be a little bit more explaining what the plot's about. But I mean, I guess we're going to get another trailer at some point between now and June. So let's wait for that, and hopefully that will get me more on board. I mean, I'm going to watch it because it's Toy Story, but at this point, I'm still in the mindset of, is this necessary? I feel like they can't go wrong with. I feel like they can't go wrong with the characters, but essentially, I don't want Toy Story 4 to detract from Toy Story 3 in any way. Like it could be all well and good. Like I know for some people, Monsters University kind of. A lot of people felt Monsters University was unnecessary in regards to Monsters Inc. I actually enjoyed Monsters University, possibly slightly more than Monsters Inc., which makes me in a very rare selection of people. So who knows? Maybe I'll end up enjoying Toy Story 4 even more than Toy Story 3. It's a very hard task. Very hard task considering, like I said, it's in my top 3 full stop. So, yeah, not really more sure what to say about this. So, until the next reaction, ta-ra.